Okay, Hari Om everybody, and a very warm welcome to all of you. It is so lovely to be here at Better Success Vishnu Mandir this evening. As our MC nicely said, we at Chennai Mission Guyana has taken a resolution to complete the entire Bhagavad Gita of 700 verses in 108 nights at 108 mandirs. And I cannot believe we are already on night number 72 of that 108. We are closer to the end than the beginning. And now where we are in Bhagavad Gita, we have reached chapter 12. Chapter 12 is, there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, and the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita focus on Karma Yoga, how we can do our actions in such a way that it transforms our life so that we stop getting sorrow from the world and we start to get joy. Bhakti Yoga is the focus of the next 6 chapters, where we study about Bhagavan. And finally, Jnana Yoga, or understanding the oneness between myself and Bhagavan, is the topic of the last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So now we're in the last chapter on the whole section called Bhakti Yoga. But this chapter itself is also called Bhakti Yoga. So all possible questions about what exactly is Bhakti, who is a Bhakta, means a devotee, who is the altar of devotion, who is Bhagavan, and how can I worship Bhagavan in such a way that it brings, that I transcend all the sorrow that I currently have in my life? See, everyone here is a bhakta, correct? Everyone here has love for Bhagavan. But somehow that love that we have for Bhagavan is not bringing a transformation to our life where there isn't sorrow. It is not bringing a transformation to our life where we see everyone as God. Tulsidashi sees the entire world. He says, Siya Rama Maya Sabajagajani. This whole world is nothing but Bhagavan Ram. But when we look at the world, we see balloons and leaves and people and not just that, we see, I don't like balloons and I like leaves and I don't like this person and I like this one. So those are the things that bother our mind whole day. Something or the other is troubling our mind, even though we call ourselves bhaktas. So what is it about bhakti that allows us to remove the things that it promises? That is called bhakti yoga, where I express my love for Bhagavan in such a way that it transforms my life. In the verses that we had seen, Bhagavan Shri Krishna defined devotion. He defined bhakti. Bhakti is not just love. There's love, there is faith, and there is steadfastness. Means the focus is Bhagavan. Now, someone may have love for Bhagavan once in a while, like on their annual puja day. Someone might have faith in Bhagavan when he gives them what they want. Someone might have steadfastness. Every time they come to the mandir, they have so much love for Bhagavan, right? But what Bhagavan is talking about in this chapter of Bhakti Yoga is unconditional love. Irrespective of what happens in my life, I have love for Bhagavan. Unwavering faith means nothing can come into my life that will make me think, oh, maybe Bhagavan is not actually there. No? And steadfastness. The description for this given is just like the river flows from the mountain and it doesn't stop until it reaches the ocean. In the same way, my thoughts, which are soaked in love and faith, they do not stop until they reach Bhagavan. Those thoughts are not going to stop until they reach Bhagavan. So, now, actually, bhakti, true bhakti, cannot be developed without thinking. Some people say, oh, thinking is too hard for me, so I will just go and have love for Bhagavan. But actually, that kind of love for Bhagavan is very shaky, because something little will happen and then everyone will question that love. They will question that Bhagavan also. So, we cannot develop true love for Bhagavan without thinking. Simple thing, if someone in your life has done so much for you, like your parents, your mother or your father, a young child who has not thought about how much their parents have done for them, they do not have the kind of respect they ought to have. Sometimes they say to them, I hate you, and what kind of mother are you? And have you heard children say those kind of things? You're mean, and because they haven't really thought about how much that parent has done for them. Anybody who thinks as we get older and we realize more and more how much our parents actually did for us, we develop more love and more reverence for them. In the exact same way, if we think about Bhagavan and all the things that he has given us, we will helplessly have unconditional love for him. See, right now my power to speak, or my power to see, or my power to walk, or my power to run, where did that power come from? Or my power to digest food after I have eaten it, where did that power come from? Did anybody here make it? Did you make that power? Your power to see? Or did you go to the Chinese shop and buy some? And when it finished, you can go and replace it? If someone can make the power to see, there would be no blind people in the world. There would be no need for glasses. What? I will make more power so I can see properly. Who wants to wake up and see blurry things and look for their glasses, and then when it breaks, you have to go and fix it? Just make that power back, right? But we don't make that power. We don't know how to. Every single capacity that we have in our life has come from where? It has come from Bhagavan, not from people around us. Right? So, when we think like this about all the things that we have in our life and all the capacities that we have in our life, the reverence and love for Bhagavan grows a little bit more each time. So, this is where we have reached in Bhagavad Gita. We're studying Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga also talks about, in this chapter we also saw that there are two aspects of Bhagavan. There is what is called there's a formless aspect, which we say, Chidananda Rupaha. That form of Bhagavan, which you cannot see, which you cannot describe, which is changeless, which is beyond, which is unmanifest, that is called the Nirguna aspect of Bhagavan. It has no describing qualities. Then there's the Saguna form of Bhagavan. You can see him, he looks cute, he looks naughty, he looks serious, whatever. You visualize Bhagavan. Maybe not he, she, Devi Ma, right? So we can visualize Bhagavan because he has a form. If you don't like human beings, then you choose Narasimha Bhagavan, half animal, half man. You can imagine God however you want, but there will be some form associated with that God in your mind. That is called the Saguna form of Bhagavan. So there are these two aspects of Bhagavan we saw. Then there will be two types of devotees. Those who worship Bhagavan with form, and then those who worship Bhagavan without form. So Arjuna asked, Bhagavan, who is better? The one who worships you with form, or the one who worship of you with form, or worship of you without form? Which one is better? So actually that question itself is wrong. Because you tell me, if somebody says, have you heard people say, Bhagavan has no form, and if you want to put a form on him, you are insulting him. I've heard statements like this. To put a form on Bhagavan is to insult him. That statement itself is an insult. Actually, they haven't thought about it. Because if you are saying Bhagavan is only one thing and he is not another, then who is putting limitations on Bhagavan? The person who is saying he can only be one way and not another, isn't it? Bhagavan is both. So the better devotee is the one who understands that Bhagavan has both these aspects. He's both formless and with form. Why can he not be both if he's all powerful? So both those aspects belong to Bhagavan. Right? But now in terms of abidance, the devotee is better whose mind is able to stay in whatever form of the Lord they choose. Means form or formless, doesn't matter. Right? When Bhagavan Shri Krishna takes avatar in the home of Devaki and Vasudevji, he says to them later on that you should love me as your son, but you should know me as your own self. Both aspects are important. Okay. Now, thinking about God without form, Bhagavan said, is much more difficult than thinking about him with form. So, that is where we ended yesterday, where he was saying, now everyone likes to choose the harder option. Well, that is the harder option. Well, I want to do that one because that must be better. But Bhagavan is saying, no. What is better is not one or the other. What is better is what is better for you. So now he gets into a whole section where thinking about God with form, how you can worship him in such a way that you come to him. So that is where we have reached, and we will chant now the verse and then we will continue from there. I will chant and everyone please repeat after me, and it will be so nice if we all hear each other's voices chanting the name of Bhagavan. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. In Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Puran, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the love that the gopis have for him is described profusely. Everyone who knows Bhagavan Shri Krishna knows how much love the gopis have for him. Well, Bhagavan Shri Krishna also had a cousin called Uddhavji. And Uddhavji was somebody who liked the Nirguna form of Bhagavan. So he said to Bhagavan, you know, these gopis, the whole day they think of you as just this blue boy of Vrindavan who's playing the flute, and they want you to come and steal their butter, and you know, this is all they think of you. But they should know your formless aspect too. They should know that you're Avyakta, you're Achintya, all these names in the Upanishads, they should know this is who you are. So after a back and forth, Bhagavan laughed and he said, okay, I will write a letter to them and you can deliver it. Have you all read this story? He said, I will write a letter and you can deliver it to them. So he wrote a letter to the gopis about his formless aspect. And Uddhavji had the job of delivering this letter. He reached and he told the gopis, you know, Bhagavan has sent this letter for you. Well, the moment the gopis heard that Bhagavan Shri Krishna has sent them something, they started to cry. And they ran for that letter. And each of them tore that letter into pieces. And each of them went and carried a piece and held it to their heart. Because that was from Bhagavan Shri Krishna for them. And Uddhavji said, but what are you doing? What is wrong with you? In this, he's describing his formless aspect. You know how great it is you're sitting here thinking about him like this? Well, that story goes on, but the point is, that day, after his interaction with the gopis, Uddhavji learned what bhakti for the form of Bhagavan really is. The mind of the gopis could not leave Bhagavan. In fact, one day Nadaji had come and he saw a gopi meditating. And it is a very rare sight to see gopis meditating because gopi is one who drinks the bliss of Bhagavan from their eyes, with their senses. So he said, what is this gopi is meditating? So he sat and he watched her. Finally, after a few minutes, she was like, I give up. And she got up and she was going to go. And Naraji said, you were meditating? She said, yeah. You gave up? Yeah. Why? What happened? I was trying to meditate on my chores so this Bhagavan would leave my mind. But it is not working, so I just give up on this. I'm going to go back. Some people just have love for the form of Bhagavan. And those people who think of Bhagavan as formless, they think, no, people should think of him like that too. Bhagavan is saying, no, you don't worry about all that. If you do not imagine Bhagavan in his formless aspect, you put that aside, but you worship him with form properly. So now he describes how someone who has love for him, thinking about him with a form, has love for him. What does he say? Actually, these are two super famous verses, and he says a most beautiful thing here. Just listen. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Those people, means those bhaktas, who renounce all their karmas unto me, considering me as the supreme goal of their life. I'll tell you what the verse says and then we'll see each part, right? He says, those people who think of me with ananya bhakti, means they don't think with ananya yoga, they don't think of me with any otherness. And they worship me like that. Tesham aham samudharta. I become their uplifter, their samudharta. From where? Mrityu samsara sagarat. I lift them from drowning in this ocean of samsara. Okay? Nachirat. Not after a long time, means very quickly. O Arjuna, maya veshita chetasa. Those people whose minds are immersed in me, means Bhagavan with form. Immersed in him. He says, I myself come and I lift them from the ocean of sorrow. So now let us see each piece of this verse, of these two verses, what it is saying. How does somebody renounce karmas to Bhagavan? You say, Bhagavan, I had to wash the drain. I've renounced that, you go and wash it now. Bhagavan, I had to mind these children. You come and mind them and entertain them and take care of them. One mom, you know how children tell knock-knock jokes? You say knock-knock, then you have to say who's there, and then they'll say something, and then you'll say who, like that. Well, one mom, this time, decided to tell a knock-knock joke to her son. She said, knock-knock, and that son was surprised, because moms don't tell knock-knock jokes, right? He said, who's there? She said, ice cream. He said, ice cream who? She said, ice cream so you can hear me. Bhagavan, you come and scream at these children and get them to do their chores and get them to do everything. Okay, I have renounced all my karmas to you. That is not what it means. What it means is I dedicate all my actions to Bhagavan. You know, when somebody works in a company, they dedicate all their work to that company. Means whatever work they're doing, they know it is for the benefit of the company, not for their own benefit. In the same way, someone here works knowing I'm doing this for the benefit of Bhagavan. Or, another way to say it, because Bhagavan is this entire universe, I am doing this work for the benefit of the world. Means I am raising these children, not because they're my children, not because I want to see them become something. I'm raising these children because they will become blessings to the society. They will become boons to humanity. That kind of attitude is what it means to say, I renounce my karmas to Bhagavan. I dedicate whatever I do to the benefit of this world. Then that person also considers Bhagavan as the supreme goal. Meaning, there is no one who deserves more respect than this Bhagavan. There's no one who is greater in their mind than Bhagavan. And they think of him with a yoga of no otherness. Means, see, if I am going from here to Georgetown, I have to take a car or a bus, and I have to get to the Stilling. Then from the Stilling, I have to find a speedboat or a ferry, and then I have to cross the river, and I have to get to Parika. Then from Parika, I have to find transportation and go and reach um, the bridge, right? Then I have to cross the bridge, and then only I have to get transported. I have to go now to Georgetown. So in my mind, I know I have to reach Georgetown. Now on the way, because this journey is so long sometimes, someone might stop and go and, go into like one of those petrol stations and start to buy snacks and all of that on the way. If you enter one of those shops, the Chinese grocery on the way or something, to buy snacks, will you ever think, oh, I have reached my destination now? No, you know, I have come here. And I have come here for a purpose. But in my mind, I know that my goal is something else, and I still have all these things to do before I reach my goal. So, someone that Bhagavan, the person Bhagavan is describing, they never get distracted from their goal. Means they always remember that I might be going here and doing this and finding that and all of this. But my goal is Bhagavan. So all of this I understand is just things I'm doing on the way to reach Bhagavan. Like things I'm doing on the way to go and reach to Georgetown. These people worship Bhagavan like this. He says, for this person, I myself come and lift them from the ocean of samsara, characterized by death. So what exactly is this ocean of samsara characterized by death? In Sanatana Dharma, first of all, death is not something that we have to be afraid of. Okay? Secondly, when we talk about death, we're not talking about just physical, literal death. Any change is also considered death. Because when something is changing, is it not that what it was has died and what it is becoming is born? So any change is described as a form of death in Sanatana Dharma. Now, samsara means the change that brings sorrow to our life. That will be one way to explain it, right? Now you tell me, does all change bring sorrow? Is change always a bad thing? People change the channel on the TV very happily, right? Or they change the music. Now, back in the day when we had tapes, you had to play a tape and then it had maybe 4 or 5 songs on it. Then you wait and you listen to it and then you remove it and you put the next one in. Well, see the interesting thing. When somebody had one cassette with like 6 songs on it, they could listen to all 6 songs. Nowadays, we have 1,000,000 songs in our hand at our click. And we can't even listen to one song properly. Before that song finishes, you have changed the song already. Is it not? And if you are enjoying a song, but there's somebody else next to you and they don't like it, they just take the phone and click next. Now you finish, the song is gone. So, change is not always a sorrowful thing. But, so it's not about change. The problem is not change. The problem is when change comes and we don't know how to deal with it. Like a circumstance changes. When you tell a young child, we're moving. We're going to go from Leguan to Georgetown to live. That child is thinking, what do you mean? My house is here, my friends are here, my school is here, my everything is here. Ooh. They cannot handle the thought of the change that is going to come that their parents have just told them about. Right? Or people change. People change all the time, isn't it? And then you'll say, well, now this person showed their true colors. People change. Or sometimes you yourself will change, and the people around you, you don't find them fun anymore. You don't find the things that they're doing enjoyable anymore, right? Things change. Things stop working, or things stop giving joy, right? So then within ourselves also, our senses change and our body changes. As we get older, our knees start to hurt, our back starts to hurt. I saw one reel of someone saying, all the things that people accomplished when they were 60, I have accomplished by the time I'm 30. What is that? back pain, joint pain, head pain, stomach pain, hair fall. When change happens and we don't know how to deal with it and we don't like it, it brings sorrow into our life. That is called samsara. And samsara, the world we're living in, is always changing whether we like it or not. Right? You don't know things are changing sometimes. Like every day you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself. Have you changed? No. But when you look at a picture of yourself from 10 years ago, you're like, oh, look how young I look. So you don't see yourself changing, but you're changing. So in this samsara that we're living in, things are constantly changing whether we like it or not. And most of the time that change brings sorrow to us. Right? So Bhagavan describes the sorrow that we feel from the change in this world as drowning in an ocean. Now, you tell me, somebody who is in the middle of Essequibo River, drowning in the middle of Essequibo River, means there's no boat around them and no people around them, nothing. Will that person think, oh, don't worry, it's okay. Keep swimming and you'll get to a bank? What is in that person's mind? I wish a speedboat passes soon. I have to just stay alive until a speedboat comes by. Right? That Essequibo River, it looks so big when you're in the middle of it. Now you imagine you're in that river in the middle of the night. And there's no one and nothing around you. That is a river. He's saying the ocean. Right? Do you know, I didn't know this. I recently found out. All the rivers and all the lakes in this world make up 1% of the water bodies in this world. 1% of water. The remaining 70% is the ocean. So you look at this Essequibo River and the Marara River and Berbice River and it feels so much. And all of this is not even 1% because there'll be so many other lakes and rivers in the world, right? Now you times this by more than 70 times and you imagine you're drowning in that. How will you come out? Actually, the only way to come out is someone comes and takes you out, isn't it? Where are you going to swim? One man found himself in the ocean, drowning. And then he was a bhakta. He thought he was the best bhakta that ever existed in this world. So now a ferry was passing by. And the captain of the ferry said, hey, come, I see you, you come on board. He said, no, don't worry, Bhagavan will come and save me. Well, okay. He couldn't force him, so he left. Some few minutes later, a speedboat passed by. And the speedboat said, hey man, come, look, you suffering, come on board. No, don't worry, Bhagavan will save me. Few minutes later again, a helicopter passed by and saw this man in the water. And that helicopter came and sent down a rope and, he screamed from up there, catch the rope. This man said, no, don't worry. What? Bhagavan will save me. Well, let me tell you, he drowned. Now he went and he met Bhagavan. He said, Bhagavan, what is this? I had so much faith in you. 3 people came to save me and I said no to all 3 of them and you didn't come? What kind of thing is that? Bhagavan said, hello. I sent you the ferry. I sent you the speedboat. I sent you the helicopter. You said no to all 3. Is that my fault? What, you wanted me to take avatar and come and lift you out or what? Means Bhagavan will come and uplift us from this ocean of samsara. Doesn't mean he's going to come with a flute tucked in his dhoti and holding butter in his hand and, that is not who is going to come and remove our sorrows. How Bhagavan decides to come to remove the sorrows that we are facing as a result of all the change in our life, it is up to him. He may send a guru, he may send a lottery, he may even take away something from us. Someone may die. And that is Bhagavan's form of removing us from sorrow. we actually cannot know how Bhagavan is going to remove us from this ocean of sorrow. That is up to him. Like when the child is hungry, that child doesn't need to worry where my mother is going to get milk to come and feed me. They just know, well, my mother is going to feed me. In the exact same way, we should just know when I am going through trouble and something comes to take me out of this trouble, that is Bhagavan lifting me out of the samsara that I am drowning in. So Bhagavan says, I myself come and lift them. So this whole thing, can be summarized as, if you fulfill what Bhagavan said, he said, you dedicate your karmas to me, you make me as your supreme goal. It's like you've gone and you've won a t-shirt of some logo. You know what the logo is? The t-shirts have logos. You wear that and then anybody who is from that organization, they'll know you're from there too. They'll say, okay, come and be with us, right? It's like you're wearing the Bhagavan t-shirt now. Bhagavan, I'm on your team. Now you take care of me. And really, they say, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. The one who protects dharma, dharma will protect them. The one who has faith that Bhagavan is going to take care of me and they do everything they're supposed to do, he really will take care of them. Right? You fulfill your condition. The nice way to say this is, Bhagavan, I'm going to make a deal with you. There's work everyone has to do in this world. And then there's worrying, which comes with doing all the work. So you make a pact with Bhagavan. Bhagavan, I will do the work. And if I'm doing the work, what are you going to do? You are going to do the worrying. Pact with Bhagavan. Bhagavan, I do the work and you do the worrying. Fair? Bhagavan will say, no problem. Agree. Right. Now someone will say, no, but this is not fair because Bhagavan should uplift everybody. Why just devotees like this? Actually, it is not unfair. What it is the grace of Bhagavan is like fire. If there's a fire lit over here and it is very cold, if somebody is standing far, far, far away, they cannot get the benefit of the heat of the fire. But if somebody comes close to the fire, they will get it. That fire is showering its heat equally for everybody. This person has just brought themselves closer to feel it. So Bhagavan's grace is always there for everybody. When we do these kinds of things, we start to recognize His grace in our life. Right? So now He gives instructions on things we should do to reach Him. So let's chant now number 8, 9, and 8 and 9. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai. You know, if you see an ad on TV or you hear an ad on the radio for some new medicine that a pharmaceutical company has made that will take away your joint pain, will you go and buy it? Will you go and buy it? I mean, if you have joint pain. Will you go and buy that medicine? Well, you know, I want to, but it might have side effects, and it might be expensive, and they might be lying, and they may not have done all the tests to know what will actually happen. So there'll be skepticism. I want it, I'm tempted, but I'm not sure. But if you have an auntie in the village who's 100 years old and has no pain, and she tells you, you know, Beti, I take this thing that I make at home with haldi and honey and some other spices. Will you take that? That thing takes away all my pain, she said. Will you take that? Well, I mean, there's no side effects. And I've seen tried and tested results, and she's not going to make any money from me, so why will she cheat me? Right? So there's no harm that could come from trying that. And I have the pain, so I will try it. So now here, Bhagavan is saying, I will remove your sorrow. All you have to do is this. And there are no side effects. Well, wouldn't you do what he's saying? Why not try? What will you lose? So now he gives an instruction. He says, well, if this is what you want, for me to lift you from samsara like this, well, Mayeva mana adhatsva. You fix your mind in me alone. Right now we have fixed our mind in Bhagavan also. Correct? There's Bhagavan and there's everyone and everything else in my life that I love. Bhagavan is saying, let all your love be for me only. Means, not that you forget everybody in your life, but the people in your life, either you see them as Bhagavan or you see them as sent from Bhagavan. And you have love for them like that. Then, Mai buddhim niveshaya. You fix your intellect in me alone, he's saying. Means, you make a resolve that you're not going to forget me. Or, with your intellect, you think, this Bhagavan that I love so much, who really is he? And seek to know me. Like that. Right? So this is what he says. You put your mind and your intellect in me alone. That looks like when I look out into the universe. Now I don't see paper as paper. I see paper as a manifestation of Bhagavan's wonder. How is it that a seed took soil and turned into a plant using the energy of the sun, which is really, what is it called? Mini explosions happening over there. Somehow, that is giving the plant energy to grow into a tree. And that tree now, something happens and it gets converted into paper. Is that not a magical thing? You look at the sun and you see paper? Or you look at the soil and you can imagine paper will come from that? It is really every single thing in this universe, if you give a little thought to it, you will see how remarkable it is. So instead of just seeing things as things, you see them as wonderful manifestations of intelligence of Bhagavan. Like that. Now he's saying, you see the world like that. Then, Nivasishyasi Mayeva, you will dwell in me. Your mind will always be in me, so you will be with me. Right? Ata urdvam na samshaya. There is no doubt about this. The problem is we are always doubting. Bhagavan, but what if it's not true what you're saying? Well, there are bhaktas that prove what he is saying, like Prahlad and Mirabai and all of them, right? But you say, no, this is too hard. I can't see everybody as Bhagavan. I cannot see everything with the intelligence of the universe when I look at it. This is too hard, Bhagavan. You tell me something else. Bhagavan says, no problem. If this is too hard, atachittam samadhatam, na shaknoshi maistiram. If you're not able to absorb your mind, fix it in me firmly, then abhyasa yogena tataha mamit chaptam dhananjaya. Then you do what is called abhyasa yoga. Abhyasa means practice. And everybody here knows that you need practice for every single thing. Have you seen an auntie making clap roti? That tawa is so hot, but somehow they can put their hand on it in such a way that it will not burn. You see? And then nowadays, people growing up nowadays, they need to take like a spatula to turn that thing and stand back from it. And how did auntie get to do that? It is a practice that it came. Then you take that thing. One day I watched our brahmachari Dvijot clapping the clap roti. And I said, is it hot? He said, no, it's not hot. It's easy. Come and try. Well, I thought my hands caught fire. And that clap roti didn't clap. It mashed. So, to make clap roti requires practice, isn't it? I mean, you may not remember how much practice you got, but I know it needs practice, right? Every single thing to play instruments like this. I mean, if you look at Pandit Ravan, you might think no practice is required. But when you hear me, you'll say, no, you need to practice, right? Practice is required for every single thing in this universe. So Bhagavan is saying, if you can't fix your mind in me just like that, then practice fixing your mind in me. What is that? You try and it won't work, then you try again and it doesn't work and you try again. But all of that, there should be mamit chaptam. You should have the desire to gain me. See what Bhagavan has put in here. We are very good at desiring. From the moment we wake up in the morning, it is desire after desire after desire after desire. First desire, man, I wish I could sleep more. Second desire, man, I wish I could take a shower later instead of now. Third desire, man, I wish I could eat instead of doing puja first. Like that, desire after desire after desire, correct or wrong? So we are experts at desire. In fact, desire is like, we have PhD in desire. So Bhagavan is saying, use that PhD that you have in desire and just practice desiring me. So simple. Someone says, no, Bhagavan. This sounds too hard also. Now imagine if somebody comes to the mandir and says they want to do seva. And you say, okay, you come and sweep the mandir. You know, we're going to set up now, you come and sweep. And they say, no, I can't bend. Okay, no problem. You can light the diyas. No, my hands shake too much, I can't light the match. Okay, you come and spread the mats. No. I can't spread the mats because of something, right? Well, if you said you want to come and do seva and everything that I'm telling you to do, you're saying no. Finally, you'll say, you know what, just sit over here, forget it. Would you not say that? But Bhagavan is so compassionate. You say, no, I can't do this. He says, no problem, do this next thing. I can't do this also. No problem, do this next thing. So he has a next thing also to tell us. Let us see what he has to say. Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai. See, this is Bhakti Yoga going on, right? And all through this Bhakti Yoga chapter, you see the compassion of Bhagavan just oozing through the words, right? He says, Abhyase pyasamartusi mat karma paramo bhava. If you cannot do this abhyasa, means you cannot practice keeping your mind on me, you cannot try again and again to desire me, that thing is too hard for you, then no problem. You madartham api karmani kurvan siddham avapchasi. You can still attain perfection. You can still get the greatest goal of permanent, infinite, limitless happiness. How? By doing all karmas for my sake. Right? That means, see, either it starts with Bhagavan, I went and I did my work all day. I did it for you. Means that work that I did, I remember in my mind now that it should be for the benefit of this whole world. It's for you that I'm doing everything. You finish the work and then you think of Bhagavan and you say, I did it for you. And in the morning before you go and do your work, you say, Bhagavan, I'm going to do my work for you. And that's it. You don't remember him the rest of the day. Morning and night you remember him. So it starts like that. Whatever I'm going to do, I tell Bhagavan I'm going to do for you. Whatever I did, I tell Bhagavan I did for you. We say at the end, no? Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakriti swabhava. He said, Karomi yatyat, whatever it is I do, Narayanaya iti samarpayami. I offer all of it to Bhagavan Narayana. So like that, we offer everything we do before and after. Then that thing goes on in such a way that eventually we're supposed to give up the feeling of doership altogether. It is supposed to end in us feeling like I am not even the one who did that action. Let me give you an example. Who built the seawall in Guyana? Who built the seawall? The Dutch. Correct or wrong? Yes? I just came to Guyana. Please correct me if someone told me wrong. Who built the seawall? The Dutch? Okay. The Dutch built the seawall. Can anybody here guarantee that a single Dutchman lifted a single finger to build that wall? A single person here can guarantee that? You have to say yes or no. Huh? Can a single person here guarantee that a single Dutchman lifted a finger to build that wall? No. Okay. But the Dutch built it. Okay. Who built it? Who actually built it? Slave labor, probably. Correct? Indentured laborship, slave labor. That's who would have actually done the work. Okay. Then you might say, well, it was the Dutch resources. Was it the Dutch resources? Did they bring that concrete from their country? Or they took it from here? So Guyanese resources, other people's labor, but who built it? The Dutch. You see how funny that thing sounds if you give a little bit of thought to it? Till now we're saying the Dutch built it. But not one Dutch person did anything. Then you think that The idea of building a wall that can stop the power of the ocean could come to a normal human being's mind? That idea also is from Bhagavan only, actually, if you come to see. Everything already exists in this universe, so they would have caught that idea from the universe only, right? So, what part of them building the wall did they do? If you come to see, absolutely nothing. Now we will sit here and we will say, oh, we shouldn't say the Dutch built it anymore. But actually, we do the exact same thing in our life. If I come and say, we're going to have the grand finale of this 108 nights of Bhagavad Gita. We're going to have this grand finale of the 108 nights of Bhagavad Gita in Georgetown in a month or so. And if I say we should make 7 curry for that conclusion, everyone is going to come, there's going to be dinner, we should make 7 curry. And then the team goes and find caterers and get sponsors for all the ingredients and everything and all of that, right? Then I go there on the day of and I stand on the stage and I say, everybody, guess what? I made 7 curry for you. Why? Because I had the idea. You will think I'm mad. In the exact same way, when we say things like, I made these children, or I made this mala. People take flowers that have grown with no effort of their own, and they put them together with a needle that they didn't make, and a thread that they didn't make, in an idea that they didn't make, and they say, I made this mala. And they use energy also that came from the sun. Actually, if you think about it, we think right now we did things. But the more you analyze, you start to realize, I cannot claim ownership for the actions that I currently think I am doing. So we start by saying, okay, let me see these things that I think I'm doing, how much effort I put, and how much effort other people put. Then at least I get a little bit of perspective, right? Then even amongst the things that I think I did, I start to think, okay, where did the capacity to do all of those things come from? And like that, slowly, this feeling of I am the doer starts to go down. Because really speaking, Bhagavan is the doer, not us. Right? But that comes with a lot of thinking. Then he says, atha etad api ashaktaha asi. Even if this is too hard for you to do, thinking that you're not the one who's doing, then he gives one more. He says, Sarva phala tyaga. Sarva karma phala tyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. Now with the mind that is controlled, means a mind that you have mastered, at least renounce the fruits of the actions. Renounce the fruits of actions means what? When I do any action, a result is going to come. Like if I go and plant a mango seed, what is the result going to be? A tree is going to grow. Giving up karma phala tyaga means I am not going to insist that that tree must give me 100 mangoes. I'm planting it with the hope that it will give, but there is no insistence on that thing bearing results the way I want it to bear results. So I will do my duty as I'm supposed to do it, but I will leave it to Bhagavan. Once I have done my duty, let the results come as they're supposed to come. The number of teenagers that have come to us to complain, I want to go and become an artist, but my parents are forcing me to become a doctor or an engineer. The parent wants to put the effort in and see the result of that child come back in the way only they want to see it. Not in the way that they haven't left it. Then who suffers as a result? The poor child suffers. Isn't it? So Bhagavan is saying, no problem. If you want to be the one who's doing, you do. But don't insist on results coming the way you want them to come. And when you stop insisting, then you start to see everything as prasada. Like when you come to the mandir, you put your hand out and they will put some prasad in your hand. You cannot say, no, I don't like the prasad that had the raisins in. Take it away and give me the prasad without the raisins. You just take what you got. I mean, you're supposed to. Some people nowadays, they do that also. But we're supposed to just take what we got. In the same way, when we do our actions, whatever comes, we take it understanding it has come as prasad from Bhagavan. Okay. Now, he wraps up this whole thing in a most wonderful verse. Actually, it's a short chapter with only 20 verses, and most of the verses are famous. That is why people chant and memorize this whole chapter 12. Okay, let us chant it. Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Kanaya Lal Ki Jai. Bhagavan says now, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. This verse has so many explanations and so many commentaries. I am just going to tell you one of the explanations that is there in this verse, right? Very simply, Bhagavan says, knowledge is superior to practice. Meaning, simple thing. Is it not true that someone who comes and does havan and puja out of fear without understanding why, versus someone who does it understanding why they're doing, the one who's understanding and doing is better than the one who's not understanding and doing? Correct or wrong? Doing with understanding is better than doing not knowing why, out of fear or any other reason. I have to, I'm forced, right? So there's doing. Better than doing nothing is doing something, right? But better than doing something is understanding why you're doing it. So that's what he says. Then he says, better than just doing with understanding is dhyana. Meaning, I don't just theoretically understand, but I actually, that knowledge is part of me. So now, they say, when you do puja, it's supposed to bring all of your senses together. It is supposed to give you single-pointedness of mind, right? So now I understand that is why. But I don't actually have single-pointedness of mind because I'm not doing it properly. So, greater than knowing why I should do puja is doing it in such a way that that benefit of it comes to me, that knowledge is my experience. It's not just theoretical. So making it my own experience, making it my own knowledge, that is better than just knowing. Then finally he says, greater than that is sarva karma phala tyaga, is renouncing the fruits of all actions. Means simply, whatever it is that I'm doing, I am not doing it with the insistence of getting anything from that thing in the way that I want it. Even when I sit for something like the highest vocation of meditation, I don't sit there with the insistence, Bhagavan, today my meditation has to be good, That thought is going to prevent the meditation from being good. Because you're supposed to have no thoughts at that time. That means that's not what you're supposed to be thinking about. Right? So, sarva karma palatyaga, you give up all anxiety of all results. That is better than even sitting and trying to do meditation and sitting and trying to make the experience your own like that. And Bhagavan says now, Tyaga Shantihi Anantaram. This phrase, if you remember, it will bless you for the rest of your life. By Tyaga, by renunciation, by giving up, we get immediate peace. There's a famous story of how people catch monkeys in Bharat. Over here, it's not so common to have monkeys come into your house and steal your bananas and make mess and all of that. But in India, it's very common, right? At least it used to be. So they would keep a pot, a very heavy pot filled with chana, or filled with stuff at the bottom, stones, and chana on the top, the kind of chana the monkeys like to eat. So that monkey will come, and he will put his hand in the pot, and he will hold the chana. But now that mouth of that pot is so small, his hand could go in, but holding it, his fist cannot come out. So he gets caught. The only way that monkey will get immediate peace is if he opens his hand and drops that chana and he can go. But he won't do it. That is us. We hold on to things, and in the holding on, it brings agitation, it brings stress, it brings trouble. Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. When we drop insistence, actually in science, they say when there's resistance, it creates tension and friction and all of that kind of thing. In the same way, when we have insistence or we resist certain results, it brings all the stresses in our life. But is it not true that Bhagavan knows best? Is it not true that the law of karma that he upholds is infallible? So what is there to worry? I do the action, and the result has to come in the way it will come. And not only that, with the result coming, there is also compassion. Meaning whatever is coming is for my benefit, is for my growth, it's out of love for me. Like that child who has to get the vaccination sometimes. It is for their benefit that the mother is taking them and letting the doctor inject them. So sometimes things come to us that don't feel nice, but even then we should remember, I drop insistence that only good things should come in my life. I drop insistence in the way things will come in my life. Bhagavan, you send things to me the way you want. This is language of bhakti. So this is the sadhana Bhagavan gives for practicing bhakti. If better than just doing blindly is doing with understanding. Better than theoretically understanding is actually experiencing. Better than experiencing is dropping insistence on the results that will come as a result of all of that understanding and practice. So wonderful. Bhagavan says, if you can't put your mind in me, no problem. You try to put your mind in me. If that is too hard, no problem. Start to try to give up the feeling that I am doing. If that is too hard, no problem. Do the greatest thing. You just stop insisting on results coming the way they should. And the best place to start is where we are. So we start right there, and we give up the insistence on results, and let the magic of the power of this sadhana transform our life. Okay, now Bhagavan is going to switch to describing what the life of a devotee looks like, the qualities of a devotee. So that we will see tomorrow at New Road Vishnu Mandir. We will be at New Road Vishnu Mandir tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. If you are able to, please do join us. We'll be continuing. Hopefully we will finish this chapter of 20 verses tomorrow. a very, very special thank you to Pandit Motiji and to Pandit Ramanji and to Rameshji and to everybody here who helped to put together this yajna. I know putting together satsangs and yajnas, taking care of mandirs like this, it is not a one-person job. It is not an easy thing. It requires the whole community coming together with love to make it happen. So that love is evident over here. Thank you all for everything that you did. I'll just share a couple of announcements and then I'll pass it back to Panditji if he would like to say anything. One of these bookmarks has been made for everybody to mark this momentous occasion. It's the first time whole of Bhagavad Gita is being studied across the whole of Guyana in 108 nights. And it has wonderful quotes also. You can read through them. You can keep it in a book. And one day, when you open it, you'll say, oh yeah, I went for that thing. Chinmay Mission is a teaching organization. And part of teaching is, well, in the form of books. So Chinmay Mission has over 2,000 publications, actually, for all ages and all interests. Please see, we have some books that will be on sale over here. Tiny little books like Is There Life After Death, Satsang, Hymn to Sri Ram, and some of my favorites are the children books. They're stories from our Puranas, but just with lots of pictures and beautiful images for the kids' minds to get absorbed in. Very, very simple stories. And then we also have Upanishads and all of that, so please see if there's anything that catches your interest. We have limited stock here. These are the only books remaining, but we have a new shipment arriving anytime now to the ashram. So hopefully we'll get some more books here in Esequibo in a week or so. All right. As I mentioned, on 3rd of May, we will be having the grand finale of this 108 nights yajna. You're all welcome. It is a Saturday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. in Georgetown. And if you have family, you can stay with them. If you want, you can come back because we will finish by 6:30. And if you want to come, which will be very nice, but you have nowhere to stay, Chinmay Mission has an ashram now in Monrepo. It's a little house, but you can come stay. You know where the heart is big, everyone makes space? That's how families work, right? So come, we'll find space, we'll put some foam, and we'll all stay together that night, and you can come back the next morning. Okay? Last announcement. As I mentioned, Chinmay Mission is a teaching organization, right? So one of the things that Chinmay Mission specializes in is a training course. It's a course of 2 years where people go to learn this Sanatana Dharma in the Gurukul style, as it was taught originally. You stay in the ashram with the Guru for 2 years. From 5:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. you have classes studying every single day. Everything from Ramayana to Bhagavad Gita to Sanskrit to the Upanishads, meditation, Vedic chanting, everything. And you come out with such a clear understanding of life and Bhagavan and yourself as a result. If anyone is interested in this kind of thing or wants to become like a Swami or Brahmachari, a teacher of Sanatana Dharma, you can apply for this course. You have to be under 30, unmarried, and you have to have a university degree. And if you apply and you get in, then Chinmay Mission will take care of you. Bhagavan says, you dedicate yourself to me and I will take care of you. This course is the exact same. You dedicate yourself to Sanatana Dharma and you will be taken care of entirely for that 2 years. So if you know anybody who's interested in this kind of thing, please let them know so they can benefit from this wonderful course. Swami Prakashanandaji himself will be teaching all the classes. It is a very rare thing to have one master of a Swami teaching every single class. So whoever's in this course will be very, very lucky. All right. I'll hand over back to Panditji or MC. Who's coming? MC. After this, we will do art.